Rich Rodriguez, welcome to the Seth Davis Show. Welcome to the inside of a gymnasium, man.
Thank you, Seth. I love it. I love basketball.
You're a basketball guy.
I'm
People
a
don't know that
basketball
about you.
junkie. Didn't play in college, but I was close. I played football, but I loved playing in high school. They called me the black hole because every time the ball got to me, it disappeared. I shot it every time.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah,
you strike me as a pass first.
My high school coach made me take it out of bounds. He said it was my only chance for an assist. But I loved basketball. I love being around the program, and I'm in a great basketball environment here, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, it's unusual for you. I guess this is the first place that you've been where the first basketball school, quote unquote, that you've been. Do you feel the difference?
You know, it's what has been good is that it was at West Virginia when I first got there. John Beeline got there a year or two after I got there and built that program up, so they were doing really well. And then John was my neighbor in Michigan as well, and obviously doing well there. So, you know, it's the whole thing where, you know, is it a basketball or football school? And people say, well, Arizona's a basketball school. And I said, well, at least we're known for something. You know, you got good athletes there, and we got a lot of good athletes in other sports too. But I love what Sean's doing here. Sean Miller's doing here at our program, and it's fun to watch.
You're now in your second season here. Tell me about the reality of being here versus the expectations of where you came in.
You know, I didn't come in there completely blind as far as doing the job, because when I talked to Greg Byrne, our athletic director, about it, he told me the situation was completely honest. But more than anything, I knew Mike Stoops, that was a coach before me. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, and I called Mike, and he was honest. And in fact, I had dinner with him 2 or 3 times before my first team meeting. And I told the guys, the players, the first team meeting, I said, you can't lie to me because I'm friends with your former head coach, so I know where all the bodies are buried and the traps are laid, and I know what's going on. So I knew we had a little work to do. We had to do something facility-wise, which has been done. We moved into a brand new $75 million football complex in August. I had to get the infrastructure and the staff in place, which I feel is good or better about this staff than any staff I've ever been on. And then we got to recruit and develop, and that's going well. It's just a slow process. It may take a little longer here than maybe a traditional power to build the kind of players we want, but it's coming. It's coming.
You still play country road after wins?
No,
did you leave that behind?
We leave that behind. You know, I still got the friends over there in West Virginia and the family and all that. But we have our own little fight song, our Bear Down fight song after our wins. It's pretty neat.
You spent a year in broadcasting before you came back here at my current network, your former network, CBS Sports Network. Probably gave you a chance to look at the game from a little bit of a different angle. Probably watched more college football than you would have otherwise, certainly of other teams. What's the best insight that you got during that year that you can apply now? Or was it simply just how badly you wanted to be back?
Well, you know, Seth, it was neat because it's probably more work than people realize, particularly when you're doing, but when you're doing, I did both a studio show and doing games, and I really enjoyed it. And you get to, and what's different is when you're coaching, you only have to study one team, your opponent, because you already know your team.
Right.
And so, but when you're broadcasting, you need to learn both teams. And so it's kind of a double the work in learning that. But I think more than anything, for the first time in 25 plus years of coaching, you know, I had a chance to sit back and reflect. Because usually when you're coaching, you're just in the middle of the process and you're worried about what's next, and you don't really look back too much. You know, when I spent that, well, really it was less than a year out of coaching, you know, I got a chance to reflect, look at other programs, how they're doing it, what we're doing, what we were doing, and if I got another opportunity, what would I do differently? And so that reflection, I think, really helped me, I think, move on and have some better ideas going forward. Everybody wants to cry and complain about why they're playing this team the first game. That team's not any good, or playing the FCS 1AA team the first game. It's because they want to find out what they have, get the kinks worked out, because the games mean so much.
Was there a part of you that was concerned or worried that you might not get another shot at the level that you might want to coach at, given the way after what happened at Michigan and all that? And am I damaged goods? Am I going to get in?
I think there was a little concern about could I get back in at the same level, and I think there's always some concern with that. But I had enough people in the agency and the agent I worked with and all that who were convincing that, hey, it's going to happen. And you can be patient. That was the thing I was worried. Should I jump on the first Division I deal, or should I wait for something I think is going to be a really good opportunity? And everybody that I talked to in the profession, and athletic director friends of mine said, you know, you're going to get another opportunity. You're going to get another good opportunity. Just make sure it's the right one. going forward. And so I was able to do that. I jumped pretty quick, but I thought this one was the right opportunity.